Welcome back to Behind the Joystick. It's been a few months, but we are so back. And what a better way to return than recording straight from DreamHack Dallas. Today's guest is someone you'll definitely want to know, Morbid Minds from Xzile Esports. If you don't already know Morbid Minds, they've been making serious waves in the esports scene, from competing to creating, mentoring players, and helping grow their org's presence in the space. Their journey is about passion, community, and pushing the limits to what esports can be. Thank you for tuning in, and now enjoy this episode.
Hello, I'm Morbid Mind. I'm the CEO of Xzile Esports, and we are a gaming organization that wants to create an inclusive space for all types of gamers. We do a lot of things related to mental health, and we run tournaments once a month for Apex, Overwatch, and Rivals, occasionally Valorant.
Nice.
And then we have competitive teams as well that represent those games, and content creators. We have 9 right now.
Wow.
That play, FPS games, but also a variety of different games. And then me on my own, I also stream and create content.
Nice.
So I play a lot
So
of...
technically 10.
10, yeah. Yeah, if you count staff, we're a lot more than just 9.
Yeah, for sure.
Because a lot of our staff members also stream and make content.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah, we do a lot of stuff in gaming.
Very cool. So when did Xzile start? Like, when was that I'm going to do this kind of moment?
Yeah, so funny story actually. I was part of different organizations before.
Okay.
I was part of 2 different organizations, down from like being a mod to a content creator, and then I worked as an operational director for an org. And with some of these small orgs, every now and then they just kind of shut down.
Yeah. And
so that's kind of what happened to the one I was in. And I had just built an Overwatch team. I had just brought in a content creator, and I was like, had to turn around and tell them, just kidding.
Yeah.
There's no more org. So I was kind of like in between, like figuring out what do I want to do? Do I want to just go back to being a content creator and trying to apply for other orgs? And a lot of my friends around me were saying, you should just do your own thing.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, how do I do that? And they were like, you can figure it out, and if you can't figure it out, we're here to help you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so a lot of people, I had a lot of really good, close friends that were very supportive and thought that we could do our thing. And here we are almost 2 years later.
That's awesome. That's very good. It's a good thing, too, to really think about, because you started a little bit after the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, like, how did like, in the beginning of it, whenever you're starting this organization and trying to bring people in, did you bring the people in from the previous one that shut down, or did you have to, like, re-scout again?
So, like I said, we had the Overwatch team, so we brought the Overwatch team over, and then I had some content creators already. I had 2, and then one of the content creators that was on the other org actually wanted to compete in Apex.
Okay.
And so he had an Apex team that he was playing on. Nice. So we automatically signed an Apex comp team as well. So
that's very cool.
Pretty much, like, we spent literally a week writing our handbook and our contracts and stuff. And I said, I don't want to start anything until we have a really good foundation.
Yeah.
So we worked on all of that, and literally that when we announced, we had already our 2 comp teams and 2 content creators. So it was like right out the gate we had people already in the org.
That's awesome. That's very cool. And so now last year I met you, and y'all ended up like excelling pretty much within the first year of you doing the Xzile. You had the casters for your Overwatch team. You've had content creators. You had a social media manager who was scouting out more social media, and like learning that process in that space. It was like a very great opportunity for anybody who's even trying to start out into the space. How did you feel about like year 1 compared to like somebody else who's like on the outside watching year 1 as it has excelled?
Year one, we really wanted to focus on just like I said, building that foundation.
Yeah.
And so it was a lot of learning as we go.
For sure.
And especially with our competitive teams, I think that we learned a lot from our first couple of teams that we had, making sure, you know, we had maybe managed people before in like other businesses or within schools or something, so we had like some knowledge of how to manage others, but when it comes to creating a competitive team, you know, that was something that we didn't really have experience on. So we learned a lot about, you know, especially like ranks and having rank caps, having like a minimum with ranks. And so I think that at the beginning we really had to learn a lot about like the management side of stuff,
right?
And then building that community with our tournaments and everything. Looking back, it's like we didn't realize like how fast we were actually going through things and getting things done. And now that we're almost going to be 2 years, we hear people like you giving us some really great compliments, and we're like, wow, yeah, we did that.
Right, yeah, because walking in here, you were talking about the Face It that you're now planning to be a part of. We talked about you helping people in the scholastic space or the collegiate space, being able to train and like kind of get that foundation so that they're able to do varsity stuff in their colleges and in their teams and stuff. And so like, where's like that pivotal moment where you're like, okay, what's like the next thing? Like, do you feel like you're ready for the next thing, or are you kind of still, you know, kind of enjoying this moment that you're doing right now?
Yeah, so it's, I guess, a little bit of both. We definitely have had conversations recently about like sponsorships and starting to work with brands.
Yeah.
I know early on a lot of people maybe have walked away from Xzile because they wanted to see that money or a paycheck or something, and we were just kind of like, hey, we need to have a product that we can actually sell, and so it takes time to build an audience, build a following, and so I think now we're kind of at that point where we're getting ready to build up our portfolio of what we have to offer, what we're able to do for brands, and hopefully soon start looking into like that shift of more business versus community.
For sure. So right now y'all are still like nonprofit pretty much, with people in the space, like they're still here to kind of like take on a learning side.
Yes.
Do you think when you become to that point of making money, if that's like the goal, do you think that you would still have like the volunteer side of it, just so that, you know, like the collegiate or people that want to kind of break out into that space are able to still do?
Yeah, we're hopeful. We're hoping to have just like two sides of it, where we do have some people that get paid for, you know, their work that they're doing with us, but also other things like types of internships. We've run into that a lot, where people will come and like interview with us and say, you know, we want to get into esports, but there's no opportunities for us to even learn. You know, these companies are wanting years of experience already, and they're like, we don't even know like how to get that experience.
For sure.
And so that's what I really love about what we do now, is that we'll bring people in, kind of teach them what we do and what we've learned, and go through the motions of everything that, you know, is Xzile and how we run our company. And hopefully a lot of them kind of go out into the world and are able to get, you know, jobs and stuff. So in the future, I think we'll still have a really good balance of helping people. You know, we never want to hold anyone back. If anything, I think we did our job if we were able to help you grow and you were able to go out and do something greater.
Yeah, like that's all that matters. That's like a win. That's awesome.
Yes.
And quick break before we jump back into the conversation. If you're enjoying Behind the Joystick and want to help us keep interviewing amazing guests from all corners of the gaming and esports world, consider supporting our Patreon. Your support helps us go to events like DreamHack or set up interviews and keep their stories going. Plus, you'll get to have early access to episodes, bonus content, and some behind-the-scenes moments you won't see anywhere else. It really helps us continue shining a spotlight on people shaping the gaming industry. All right, back to the show. And so then you've also, I guess, kind of like pulling out of Xzile more on you. So you won an award for the Icon
Her.
Icon Hers. That's awesome.
Yes.
Very cool.
Thank you.
So like what do you think that process of trying to like get into something like that, to like be recognized as like an icon?
Oh, I don't know.
Right? Yes, go ahead, talk about yourself now, girl.
Yeah, that's the hard part, right?
Yeah.
To go ahead and
It
talk
really
about
is.
yourself.
Yeah.
But I just think, for me personally, I think you just kind of put your head down, get to work, I think with the icon thing comes Xzile, so I can't talk about that without talking about the
Yeah,
org.
because I mean, Exile's your baby.
Yes.
It's like your lifelong awaited like offspring, So.
Yes. We're in the terrible twos.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you are.
But I think I really wanted to just make sure that we put our head down and get to work. And what that looks like is sometimes I'm the CEO, sometimes I'm a manager, sometimes I'm a graphic designer, sometimes I'm a video editor, even though I never did any kind of education in those spaces.
For sure.
I have to be that person.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm a friend, sometimes I'm your boss. And so I think part of being like an icon is understanding that, there's a lot of work behind it that maybe other people don't see.
Yeah.
You get to see like the finished product, but we do the late nights of staying up and getting things done and keeping people organized and accountable for what they do, and honestly like making really hard decisions.
Yeah.
And I would think something like, especially within the esports space, it's something they don't talk about, I think, very often is we're playing video games because we love video games, we have fun playing games, and so the people around us are friends that play video games with us, and when you mix business and friendship, that can be very difficult. And so there have been some hard times where I have to be able to like draw the line. Here's our boundary of like, this is our friendship and then this is our business. Yeah. And so I think, those are some of the hard things about like becoming an icon of, other things.
You're literally probably trying to take as many risks as you can, and I feel like that is what an icon is. They're more of a risk taker. They're more of, I've got to put my foot down. I can't just pretty much be walked all over. I can't be trampled on. And it's tough, but I'm glad you got recognized for it, for sure.
Thank you.
I really am. For people like in the scholastic or in the collegiate space, and they want to do something like creating an org or wanting to, I don't know, be a graphic designer and things that like you do outside of this with no education, what kind of like advice would you give them? Yeah,
so for starting an org, I think that's really difficult to say, because there's also like not a lot of educational content out there about it. Yeah. When it comes to like graphic design or video editing, I would just say YouTube's your best friend. You can find lots of tutorials on like creating graphics. There's also just a lot of, I surround myself, like my Twitter is full of either Apex content or graphic designers. Yeah. And so constantly consuming, graphic content also really helps. Mm-hmm. But I think when it comes to starting the esports org, there isn't that much helpful information out there. Yeah. If I could give advice to someone, I would say make sure you have like a solid like foundation, like we did, creating like a handbook of like what your expectations are and having really clear boundaries. So like one of our huge things is in my DMs, that's where we talk about us and like our games and what we want to play and like fun stuff. But like in our Discord, that's where I talk about Xzile stuff. Don't DM me about like hey, a player's doing this or whatever. No. That's in the Discord, in our Xzile Discord, in our like certain chats, so that we can have those clear boundaries between like our friendship and this is work. Like our work. Yeah, that's awesome.
what advice would you give yourself starting Xzile? Like learning everything that you know now, like what would be something that you're like, I would have wished I had that?
I think kind of going back to like what you said of having like more of like a backbone, definitely. I think when we first started off, I let a lot of things slide because they were my friends, or because I was thinking like, who am I to even be like running this kind of thing, and kind of having a lot of like that self-doubt at the beginning. I think I would go back and tell myself like, no, you know what you're doing, you're strong enough, you can do this.
Right.
And you know, cut out the things that you don't need in your space. We've created this really awesome community, and it is something that I want to protect and have flourish.
Yeah.
So I think maybe early on I would have told myself, it's okay to tell people no. It's okay to stand up for yourself. You know, it's okay to do those things.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think I was that strong. Someone, it was funny because someone said I changed, and I kind of like, I know that they meant that maybe in like an insult.
Okay.
And I kind of took it as, no, I did change. Like, I'm stronger. I'm creating boundaries for myself. I'm pushing myself to be better. And yeah, I am a different person, and I'm really happy that I've grown.
That's awesome.
And
yeah.
changed.
I mean, compared to like what last year was and this year, especially like during our like Twitter messages, whenever we go back and forth, in the beginning it was like, sure, yeah, like I'm here, I'm listening, like whatever you got, I'm gonna take it. But then now it's more like, I know what I want, I know what you have, and this is what we're doing.
Yes.
Like whenever you're like, I'm gonna do this, I'll see you at this time. I'm like, okay, you're the boss, we'll do this. And I love that for you. I love that that shift has kind of like grown for you, and I hope that it continues to make you like, excuse my language, but it makes you a bad bitch. That's all I hope for you.
Thank you.
It's
I
awesome.
appreciate it.
For people who don't know you or your space and want to like check you out or even like reach out to you in your team, because your team, they're also like open to arms, what is like a good like source of social media contact for you?
Yeah, so on Discord or Twitter, you can find me on Twitch as well, Morbid Mind _, on everything pretty much. And then our email is just Xzile Esports. It's morbidmind@xzileesports.com.
Nice,
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and I'll put those also in the description below. And yeah, thank you for chatting with me.
Of
and
course.
Well, we'll see you guys next Friday. So.
Yep.